two US hostages abducted by the terrorist group Hamas in Israel 2 weeks ago have been freed. These pictures show American citizens Judith and Natalie Rannan being released at the border of Israel and Gaza.
But around 200 others remain captive by Hamas militants in Gaza. Their fates unknown. Well, Adva Adar's 85-year-old grandmother, Yafa, is one of the innocent civilians kidnapped by Hamas militants. Adva joins us now. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Adva. How are you and your family coping?
We're trying to stay positive, but we're very, very worried.
It's so difficult doing an interview like this, Adva. And first up, can I repeat what Nick said? Thank you for joining us on Talk today. I think of my own grandmother when she was alive, and I can only imagine the trauma and the concern going through your minds and your bodies, because it's the fear of the unknown. This is an 85-year-old woman. What is she like as a person? How would you describe her to us this morning?
Wow. My grandmother is a very special person and grand.
Is she?
And she had a very, close relationship with us, the grandkids and the great grandkids. And, she was really always trying to take care of us and make sure that every time we will come to visit, she bought the food that we like. And, always there was a present for the great grandkids. And even when she wasn't able to come to visit a lot, so she would do the best in her power to talk with the kids and to be, a very big part in their life. And she was very cool, very young-minded. She used to watch football and basketball and read a lot of books.
That image of your grandmother, which I know went across the world, of her being kidnapped in the back of that golf cart, can you just give us some understanding of how the family found out? What did you see it on television? Were you told? What happened?
We lost contact with her around 9 a.m. We already knew that there are terrorists in the kibbutz, and she wrote us that there are street battles around her house and that their terrorists are getting in. And then we couldn't reach her anymore. And I have other family that lives in the same kibbutz, so we keep hearing from them about the horrible things that are happening there, that the terrorists are entering from house to house and shooting people and burning people, and that the entire kibbutz is on fire. But we couldn't talk with her. And only at 5 p.m., when the IDF got into the kibbutz and starts taking people out, my aunt asked them to get into my grandmother's house to check about her, and she was nowhere to be found. Oh, and then we tried to look in social media because we heard a lot of videos. And unfortunately, we found a video of her being kidnapped.
Adva, the line isn't great, and I so appreciate you being with us. We'll keep it going. The Israelis, the government, and I think the world understands this, after this horrific genocidal terrorist attack, have vowed to take out Hamas. And we don't need to get into a political argument with you, but there's your 85-year-old grandmother, a hostage inside Gaza. How do you and your family feel about that imminent action?
I don't know how to describe our feelings. We want to trust the authorities and the IDF and whoever is responsible for whatever is going on there, that they are doing the best that they can in order to bring them back home. And we are trying to do from our side whatever we can, interview a lot and show her picture and tell her story to whoever is willing to listen. Yes. And hopefully, if people will understand what's going on here, if people will think about their grandmother and see her picture, it might help us get the international community pressure on the Arab countries to force Hamas to free them all back home.
Absolutely, that's what we all hope for here at talkTV. Thank you so much for joining us,
Adva,
Adva Adar. And also thank you for talking to us about your grandma, the person, because so often here when we're reporting on these stories, we talk about numbers, and you're here to remind us that there is a whole human being and a whole family behind each and every one of those hostages. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Adva.
Moving on now.
Doesn't that just put it into context?
Yeah, oh, God,
We can sit here and we can rail about politics. As an 85-year-old grandmother, and how brave of that lady. Thank you so much indeed.